Shalom, brothers and sisters. Now, there's something really interesting that seemingly slipped through the cracks silently in 2024. And thanks, Todd, for bringing this one to my attention because it's really important. It's part of this big covenant with death that's coming at a hectic speed. Ehud Olmert and Arafat's nephew signed an agreement to achieve peace and partition Jerusalem. In the agreement, they agreed to work together to promote the achievement of peace in the Middle East through a successful application of the two-state solution with 1967 borders as a base. Former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Olmert signed the agreement with Nasser al-Qudwa, nephew of former Palestinian Authority President Yasser Arafat, on July 17, 2024, so just the other day. They agreed to work together to promote the achievement of peace in the Middle East through the successful application of the 2S solution and the borders. The current agreement would see 4.4% of the total territory of the West Bank, so Judea and Samaria, proper names, annexed by Israel, with some Israeli territory being swapped in its place. They call for a mutual agreement on which locations to swap, taking into consideration security and practicality. The swaps would include a corridor linking Gaza and Judea and Samaria as part of the 4.4%, so they would be linked. They voiced support for the plan President Biden presented at the UN Security Council, which called for the creation of a Council of Commissioners to govern the Gaza Strip after the Israeli withdrawal. The council should be organically linked to the PA and together with the Council of Ministers prepare both Judea and Samaria and the Gaza Strip for general elections within 24 to 36 months. Regarding Jerusalem, Israel will receive all of West Jerusalem plus any Jewish neighborhoods built after 1967. These will be included in the 4.4%. There would be no limitations on worship or movement in the Holy Basin. Jews, Muslims, and Christians will have freedom of access to the holy sites respectively. No one country will have exclusive political sovereignty of the Holy Basin. And then they carry on. There's a lot more detail to it. But it's really interesting for me that even in the background, not even the big players, you think a Netanyahu or someone else is busy with that, but even the second tier, basically people, are already hashing these things out and talking and making agreements and working on details, plotting percentages, seeing how the whole system's going to slot into place. And all of this is groundwork that will be used by Antichrist when he formalizes and brings everything together into this beautiful covenant of death, a time period of 7 years of peace for everyone in the Middle East, an absolute perfect solution for everybody. And it'll be perfect because he will have told those who don't want to have peace or make a deal with Israel that don't worry, it's 3.5 years in, I'm going to hand them to you on a platter when they're most secure and mostly feeling safe and at peace. And nobody's looking over their shoulders anymore because this perfect deal, this covenant with death, has been signed. And there we go. So I honestly think this is an important one that, like I say, slipped through the cracks in the background because so much is happening, and worth keeping an eye on and seeing what else happens with regards to this covenant of death that's coming. Pray for Israel.